Welcome to this channel. So, this channel is for educations and culture. It is based on science and historical evidence. So, if you are not with this type of mindset, please do not continue on watch this channel or this video. So, today I like to share with you something really important to make things clear for you so that your practice in Kung Fu, in Qigong, in Neigong can be beneficial for your daily life. Now, in today's world, many people think that as soon as they go practice some Qigong, Neigong, or Kung Fu, then they can become real powerful. And those are the ideas spread in movies and marketing on the Chinese Kung Fu. In the reality, that is not the case. That is not reality. Now, let's look into what is going on this Chinese Kung Fu stuff so that we all know very clearly what we get into, how to make use of it so that it be able to improve our living. Now, first we want to look into the term Qigong and Neigong. Well, Qigong and Neigong today is just an interchangeable term. It really do not have much meaning in it. It's just a term. And if, as usual, people compare like Qigong is more advanced than Neigong, or Neigong is more advanced than Qigong, so forth, that is actually meaningless. In fact, most of the time, those type of stuff are just marketing. What we need to know is what is the content or whatever we call it, Kung Fu, Qigong, or the internal Kung Fu or Neigong, whatever. Okay? So we need to know what it is instead of just taking people's presentations, demonstrations, uh, those kind of stuff. It's like some type of magical demonstration. Commonly, you can see that you got a student being pushed by a teacher, or a teacher be able to take shot to their body, and then something like using uh, their chi power and so forth. Those type of stuff are really simply demonstrations, tricks. Those are not real Qigong, Neigong. So in today's world, it is really, really sad that it has become a mess for the Chinese culture, that many people are promoting things which they don't understand. If you look at the source of this, start in 1900, already really chaotic. And after the cultural evolution of China, you can see that many religious group or cult group is using the term Qigong to cover up for their uh, cult, because the government do not allow you, the mainland China government do not allow you to have those type of religions or cults so that people then just using the term Qigong, Kung Fu, to cover up what they are practice, which is not really the ancient Chinese teaching of the Qigong or Neigong. It is no longer that. And we know that the Chinese at that time is a communist world, while communists you don't allow those religions to exist. So in order to exist, people using the term Qigong, Neigong, and that start the entire thing of the mind power, this power, that power, and magic, Qi, healing, all sort of stuff. Now we need to know what it is so that it can serve us for what we know in our daily life. So our practice be able to serve us in the practice life, in the daily life. So the sick can use it, can use the proper training of Kung Fu to recover, to heal one's body, to help one's health. And the weak can use the training, the practice to improve one's health. And for the healthy, can use the technology to strengthening oneself. Now, so this is important. Uh, Without the ability to know what is going on, without knowing what it is, the sick will not be recovered or will not be healed. The weak will not be able to get improve their health. The healthy will not be able to get strengthened. And also the healthy, if they get injury, you go back to like the sick group, they need recovery. And one will not be able to do that because one do not know what is going on. Everything is based on magic. So this is really important. Otherwise, we don't know what to do about it. And in fact, the ancient is not selling magic. Now, however, we need to know in this world there are many different types of people. So no blaming. When we found out that a certain group of people they are not practice kung fu but practicing cult, it's the time to walk away from that. Uh, you can see it from their logic, from their claim, and from they are not be able to 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 live in the real world. For example, there are many people who will say, "Oh, their qigong can heal this and heal that," and yet they won't be able to prove it in Western medicine. I have seen many of the qigong friends. Uh, Sometimes due to they are really poor, so they do not get the Western medicine's help and turn into Qigong and later pass away. This is really sad. In our era right now, we need to avoid this type of issue. And of course, we need to help those who is needed help, who is poor. And there's still a lot of people who is poor, who is sick, and we need to help them, but not lead them into the cult. Because when people are sick, they are in difficulties, they need help, real help, not brainwash them to join any kind of cult, or selling them snake oil that you just not helping them. Okay. And also like people who need self-defense, you can see that people thinking that, oh, you learn this technique, that techniques, you will be able to defend yourself, be able to like become very powerful. Well, that's not true either. So those are a type of code that we don't want to get in there. There's nothing wrong with learning martial arts, but learning martial arts doesn't mean that you need to go fight. And so we need to be really clear in our mind on what are we doing. Can we use what we learn in the reality? I like you to put a very important concept in your mind. We, everybody, are different. Not everybody's body can be strengthened. You can be healthy, but you might not be able to get strengthened. Okay? So, for example, uh, if we born with our body is having many problems, uh, like maybe the lung is weaker, asthma, and so forth, then we cannot get into those extreme sport stuff because that will have a big risk of the injury. So it's like a analogy like a car. A car. If the car is a 4-liter engine, you don't want to use that car like a truck. If you use the car like a truck, you are going to overload that car and destroy the car's engine. We are born with our strength and our weakness. Know our weakness. And we need to know that there is no such thing in Kung Fu, in Neigong, in Qigong that can turn you into as powerful as a tiger because we are human. We have these physical limitations. Okay? Put that in mind. So don't buy into anything which is uh, promise a rose garden. Like your chi can heal everything, can make you strengthen and so forth, and you don't have to do much. You just have to practice this sets and that sets. Those stuff is just simply not true. So let's get into the term chi. Chi, what is it? We need to pinpoint there's something called chi. Okay. In today's language, to pinpoint the chi is very simple. Qi, the ancient Chinese use it for three things. One, qi means breathing. Qi means breathing. The second is the intra-abdominal pressure. The third thing is the energy in human's body. So how difficult is to understand this energy? Well, it is really simple, this energy. This energy is like when we are sick, we need to take rest, right? And then we take medicine and we take good food and so forth. So we take rest. And then when we rest, We do not consume our energy because we have rest activity. We stay in bed, and if the sickness is treated properly, a few days later we become feeling more energetic, and slowly, gradually, we get back to our healthy uh, usual life or usual living. So that is the energy we talk about in the body, the energy which is support us to function. And of course, this energy will come with, do we have the adequate energy? And also, will we be able to have the energy circulate properly in the body? And the energy be able to circulate properly in the body is not magic either. It's just like when we get sick, say we inject the antivirus and so forth, so the body uh, getting better. So the part of the body which is need to fight virus or need to recover, it be able to recover. So that means the circulation is getting better. So this one is, you can see even in the Western medicine, okay, that is the chi, that's energy. So you're dealing with three things: the oxygen, which is you breathe in, which is the breathing, because those are energy to your body. Another thing is the energy, as we just talked about, and the third thing is the intra-abdominal pressure. So when those people who demonstrations on, oh, his body can take hit, take shot, those are just intra-abdominal pressure handling, and so there's no different than if you have to do powerlifting. Those who do powerlifting know how to handle their intra-abdominal pressure so that they can have a strong core. Okay, and then for the breathing, of course, you need your stamina. You need to recover. You need to breathe better. Those kind of stuff. Okay, so chi is only these three things. Anybody do not be able to map whatever you're talking about into these three things. When they talk about chi, walk away. Don't even quarrel, argue. Because if you cannot map into these three things clearly, you will not be able to develop it. And even if you can map into these three things clearly, there are chances that you cannot develop it. For example, okay, this intra-abdominal pressure. People sometimes born have a problem, that a weakness that they can cause hernia. Different people, different body. So one is not going to be able to handle the intra-abdominal pressure compared with those who born healthy, strong, without that weakness. And due to that, then one must not touching those intra-abdominal pressure stuff. Even though intra-abdominal pressure is not something magic. So you want to feel what is intra-abdominal pressure. It's very simple. Take a deep breath. Inhale, take a deep breath, inhale. You feel that there are pressure inside your body. That's what it is. And then you exhale right away. Intra-body, intra-abdominal pressure handling is how to handle that pressure just now when we inhale deeply. But we don't know about it. We don't want to mess around with it, because those things deal is going to your internal organs and your cardio and so forth. So if you have a weak heart, weak cardio system and lung and so forth, we don't want to mess around with it. That's why to do those intra-abdominal pressures training, one better go check out with the one's medical doctor before one can do it. And there's also why that one must not practice those taking shot type of Qigong or Neigong randomly without knowing oneself. Okay? So this need to be really careful. And in order to practice this Kung Fu, one need to be able to properly handling the body, the physical body, the mind, the breathing, the uh, the energy as well we talk about. Now, this is all come with sequence. If one do not be able to aware of the body, to loosen up the body to a certain level, one will not be able to calm one's mind down or quiet one's mind down. It's like when you have a tensing, you make a tense fish, you'll not be able to calm, relax your mind down if you're tensing your body. Okay? If your mind is not quiet down, calm down, your breathing, you will not be able to handle it. You will not be able to let the breathing breathe naturally, which is the base of all Qigong and Neigong and Kung Fu. You brute force that, you're causing all kind of problem. When you brute force your breathing, you'll cause your internal intra-abdominal pressure to go into different states. Okay? And of course your oxygen and those kind of stuff, this complicated stuff. So that uh, we need to know that you need to handle your body, your mind, your breathing, and only after that you can get into the energy part. Because the energy part, in one way, you need to use it for recovery. Like when we are sick, we need to rest, to recover, to get the energy back so that to heal this body. On another way, if you want to look into like the intra abdominal pressure or handling momentum at really intense activity, you need the energy too. Okay, so you need to know this sequence. Okay, body, mind, breathing, and then the energy handling. And it never is as cheap or simple as using your mind, not using your strength. Don't pay attention to your breathing naturally. It never is like that. You need to go through the body handling, the mind handling, the breathing handling, and the energy handling. You need to develop that step by step. Now, when people usually say using your yi or your mind or your intention, don't using your strength. Is that true? Well, true. If you have the handling of the body, mind, breathing, and energy. But if you have no handling of that, then you're looking for trouble. Okay? Because it is like asking a baby, okay, say a 3-month-old baby to screw a screwdriver, using a screwdriver to screw, okay, or asking the 3-month-old to writing words where their hand is not stable, be able to do the writing. So today there are many things which is using these big words like using your yi, not using your strength. It's like to compete to say that oh, I know Bill Gates or I know the presidents to boost oneself, but do not have the content. And really, it is clueless on what is going on there. So all this using mind, that you're not using strength, pay attention to your mind, not in your breathing. All those kind of stuff today, majority, 99.99% of people, they have no idea what it is. They just repeat words and thinking that if they repeat those words, they become superior than other people. Let me tell you one thing, serious thing. If you really have Qigong, lifting anus or lifting the Hui Yin is a common thing. Like when you practice the six healing breath, everything, lifting the anus or lifting the Hui Yin at the exhale is a usual bread and butter. Now, how to lifting your anus? You just think on your Hui Yin or the part between your between your genitals and your anus, thinking of that part. Okay, so that part is in science term is pelvic floor. You just think about that and then you exhale. That part will lift up. That's using yi, not using strength, using mind, not using strength. But can you do it? Of course not. If one never go through uh, the, 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 the physical handling, the mind, the breathing, and the energy handling practice, the basic, one will not know how to do it. And in fact, when you practice the six healing breath, like shi, you just pay attention to that part, the pelvic floor, and the entire thing activate. You don't use strength. If you use strength, you actually screw up the handling. Okay? Now, however, you have to have that level to say that thing. Now, those who do not have that ability, that skill up to that level yet, they have to go one by one to do that. Okay? The same thing is with the breathing. Before one know about the breathing, there's a natural breathing where you quiet your mind, the breathing go naturally. And there's the breathing, which is say when you taking shot to your body. Now, if you don't train that, you say that don't pay attention to the breathing. Well, what the heck are you talking about? Do you know what you're talking about? If you just don't have anything you can handle, it's just empty words. So using mind, not using strength, and using do not pay attention, using your mind, do not pay attention to your breathing. Those are just empty words, which mean nothing. Yet for those who have the handling, have the kung fu, it means something. And that something is not whatever everybody can do it. So it's just like a baby. You ask the baby to write a letter using pen, ballpoint pen to write a letter. Can they do that? A 3-month old baby. They couldn't even know what the heck is what is what. So you need that level. And today is like jump gun, using term, and just showing a few tricks, and then we'll tell you using your mind, don't using your strength. Well, you get people to test it. See whether they be able to activate their pelvic floor muscle using mind right away. Or they don't even know what is pelvic floor muscle. So today, it is a reality that everybody talk about internal, this using mind, not using strength, but they couldn't even know about what is the handling of the pelvic muscle, pelvic floor muscle. So this is how bad it is today. Okay, and so we need to know that a proper training of Qigong, Neigong, and Kung Fu, it always starts at the recovery. You need to condition your physical, your mind, your breathing into the recovery state. That is the first one. So that the weak can use it, the sick and the weak can use it for recovery and for healing. And the weak can use that for strengthening because those you need to get into those recovery, healing, and help the health to improve state. Now, after you get into that state, you know your body, what is so-called proper handling of the body, what is the proper body state. Only that you can go for strengthening, like train your intra-abdominal pressure or increase your VO2 max, those kind of stuff. Without knowing that, without the reference, it is a disaster. Okay, there is a lot of records in Chinese history on training, martial arts, and Kung Fu. Have the record. You must not do this. You must not do that, because Kung Fu is not doing demonstrations as you see in the movies. Those kind of stuff. Those kind of stuff using the breathing and so forth. Very crossly. Those are very damaging. Okay. So that is the reason why in the Wing Chun matrix, inceptions, I put the process of the nurture chi N1. The entire thing what you want to learn is in the page 77, the theory. The theory is that is the truth of the Qigong, the energy handling, okay? And also the breathing. Why this is important for the N1? If you look at the N1, it is telling you that just the body. Well, that is to build out the foundations of the physical, the mind, and then the breathing will come naturally. Many people asking me on breathing, and some reading my meditation matrix book and right away talk about the breathing. All of those people, everybody know that when they told me that, they get chewed by me. Why? Because if you cannot handle the N1 process, your natural breathing will not show up. When your natural breathing is not show up, you jump into the breathing, you're looking for trouble. Okay? And if your N1 here, the nurture chi, show up, you know that you can put yourself into a state of deep rest, recovery, and you can let the body function naturally. And you'll be able to help the body to rest, to recover. Without this core, the soul of the Qigong or Neigong, you go to there, Fajing, I'd be able to train to take short demonstrations and all sort of playing how to say the invincible fighter. Those are looking for trouble. Because when something go wrong, you cannot go back to reset your body. And those in the ancient, they always go from nurture chi upward. Anything, something feel not right away they get back to the nurture chi. They are not going to proceed. Okay? And that is the truth of the entire thing. Never proceed if the body cannot take it. It's like a car, a 4-liter car. When we try to pull something heavy, and the car is seems overloading. You can see that the from the meter the car is overloading. You can hear from that the sound of the engine right away. You go back, and that is require one be able to know the natural state. So so that is the reality of the Gongfu. So you never jump. You want to know step by step. And many friends don't understand me, and I keeping saying that get into the natural, understand what the Chinese talking about, get into the N1 process in the Wing Chun Inception. You never see this in other place in the Western in the English, because you need that. You need that to get back to your reset state, your neutral state. And in fact, sometimes I feel depressed too. Everybody know that I got diabetic type 1 and I have to inject insulin. Now, once a while, even though I have the electronics to sense my blood glucose and everything, once a while, when my diet suddenly caused my blood sugar to drop under 70. Anybody who know when they get into the low blood sugar, their heart will pumping, their mind will start to have feeling dizzy, those kind of stuff. So many times when my heart is pumping, it's unregular use of the heart. For a long term, it's going to cause, like diabetic type 1 have a lifespan about 66 years old, and 30 something percent people passing away due to heart issue. Uh, it is very sad that sometimes I think I already know this nurture chi process. I know the 6 healing sound. So I try my best to recover after this heart pumping and so forth with the low blood sugar, which is diabetic type 1. We are not asking for it. It's just our body is very difficult to manage. Now, even me suffer, struggle. How about those people who don't know about this? How many diabetic type 1 is in this world? How many people they don't even know what I'm talking about here? So sometimes it is very sad that even we have the technology, I still suffer. How about the people who don't have the technology? And even I have, how much can I help myself? That's reality. So for the people who is healthy, please don't screw your body up. Why do you want to be the superhero like in the movie? What is the price you need to pay? And that's why again and again I say, if you want to learn Wing Chun, learn the N1 process, which is the first part of the Wing Chun, the Xiu Lim Tao said 1850. Learn the N1 process, because those are the things you can use for your daily life to help yourself. As for fighting, are you kidding? How many times you really fight? You want to look for fighting, you can get injured. So I'm sharing with you this is living a life. It's very different than living in a movie. My hero, General Qigong. Do you know how many, what age is he when he passed away? General Qigong passed away at the age of 60, and now I'm 62. Okay, General Qigong, a hero, passed away at age of 60, sick and poor. That's a real life. So he is a genius by age of around 35. He already wrote that classic, which are in my book, Kung Fu 1560, defeat the people left and right with his army, but he passed away at 60, poor, sick, when he was old age because of political issue and so forth. So that's reality. And I share all this with you is to hope that everybody can live a good, comfortable, happy life. That's what it counts. Superhero, as I have shared with you, Qigong passed away at age of 60, poor, sick. In one account, he couldn't even afford medicine prior to his pass away. So we need to be realistic. We need to use the Kung Fu to help us to live a better life, not to screw our life.